Hello? 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 Dude, I can't. Yeah, the reason for the delay today, I literally cannot get the other game. What, like, does Fox even carry the other game? I'm literally trying to open Australia, Denmark. You've reached the max. There is no max number of streams, man. Like, I literally can't get the other game open. This has been very frustrating. Other, are you streaming on the app? Why? No, it said no, like Fox. It says, oh, now it's fine. It said too many streams were open. The game just started. It's okay. No, we're okay. We're okay. We're okay. He said he wanted to look at the windows in the bathroom. That's all he said. And other, not in. Yeah. See ya. All right, chat. Sorry about that. We are active. We have both games up. Absolute disaster getting this set up this morning. I literally just got the stream working, started the stream. No, I realized the stream is on. I started it because the game was starting and I had a feeling I was about to figure it out, and I did figure it out. I know the stream is on, I promise. I had to call Adler right away to make sure that something was open. So the clock is synced. We have both the scores. France and Tunisia is a couple seconds behind Australia and Denmark, but we have both of our games up on these screens. Let's get the group table into the bottom left. I've literally been sitting here for like 30 minutes trying to make this work. Turns out it was a lot harder to get the app to cooperate with multiple streams than... Oh, I see what you mean, chat. I see what you mean. So I need to turn the camera this way while we do that. Thank you. That's new. Thank you. Chat, looking out for me, Monka DMCA. Tarman Valens, thank you so much for the 23 months. We'll get our lineups up for Denmark and Australia, which for me, the more interesting game. We need the table first. And the reason it's the more interesting game, now all four of these teams are still good. Australia, Denmark, Tunisia, and France. All four of them still have a chance. What game should I watch? Denmark, Australia. Because Denmark, Australia is very straightforward. A win or a draw for Australia and they go through. A win for Denmark and they go through. Oh, Australia! Oh, dude! Australia with the immediate... Oh, like just opened up to a beautiful chance. I'm gonna get the table up as fast as I can here. We just had a nightmare getting the streaming stuff together. Streaming the actual game stuff. Don't you dare lag on me. I've already had a hard enough time getting you together. So France is already clinched. Wow, yellow card already. For what? For the what, lads? Congrats to the win. I've seen so much respect from American players and the fans. As an Iranian, I'm gonna cheer for the USA against the Netherlands. Oh, Creed, see, that means so much. Thanks. As an American, we don't hear that a lot, but I tried to be very I mean, outside of the memeing on Twitter, you know, I tried to be very cordial. I do have one person that I've recorded videos with before who roots for Iran, and I was like, hey, man, that was a good, tight game. The entire second half, I was clinched. Jack James saying for the 8 months, can the Aussies get it done? I say yes. Why not? Australia's the swashbuckling team, and they're coming off of just a monster win for them against Tunisia. And I think very importantly, Australia just has to defend. They don't have to go score. This isn't Tunisia playing against France where Tunisia has to win and hope other things go their way. If Australia wins, no matter what Tunisia does against France, Australia is going to the knockouts with 6 points. With a draw, comes down to a few other things, which we'll get up here in a second as we get this group set. Tunisia are attacking. Tunisia are so... They struggle so much to score. Why punch that? Why did Mandanda punch that ball? I hope Pulisic's healthy enough to play. He will be. He has a pelvic contusion, which is a very fancy way of saying the dude got he got hit really hard in the manhood, but he will be all right. Da-da-da-da. There's Australia, yay! Australia's in second. Got a hold of it. Come on, group. Come on, Zealand. You can do this. It only took you 30 minutes to set up 2 streams on Fox Sports app. To be fair, the Fox Sports app is bad. Thank you, Matt Ryan. I really don't want anything to happen until we're done with this, please. How's the Morocco prediction going? You know, I did in the video talk about how Morocco was good. I just didn't think they were going to be good enough. But Morocco is showing that that quality is shining through, that their amazing fullbacks are shining through. You know me. I'm happy. I'm happy for the upset. Go get it. Oi. What time is it in Australia, you think? This is the litmus test for Denmark. It's 2 a.m. prime time. Oh, 2 a.m.'s. That's nice. About tea time. Working its way to 3 a.m. I know there's multiple times in Australia, but like the Eastern time zone with Melbourne and Sydney and all them. How come 3 teams haven't scored in the World Cup yet and one of them is Uruguay? Well, they're going to have to score if they want to go to the knockouts now. Oh, Tunisia! Oh! Oh, Tunisia! Oh, he's off. Oh, the flag is up. Oh, I don't even have the audio up for that. I mean, yeah, he's offside. Oh, what a freaking finish that was from that dude, though. Oh, he's offside. Tunisia has to win, and they need Australia to not win. Tunisia winning would be terrible news for Australia. FIFA being Eurocentric again, I mean, he is off. Like, would have been awesome if that goal counted, but he is off. So that's the group. Let's get the lineups in. That is what the group looks like. That means Australia with a win or a draw is through as long as Tunisia doesn't win. If Tunisia wins, Australia has to win against Denmark. Denmark, it's very simple. They are through with a win. If Denmark wins, they need to win by more than Tunisia, then they are through. They don't need to win by more than Tunisia, but Tunisia can't win by more than that. You get it. Tunisia can't win by more than them. Tunisia, they made that look pretty easy, honestly. I'd be concerned. But of course, the concern wouldn't actually be for the French because it doesn't really matter. They rotated a lot of the team and have the luxury of knowing that they will be finishing in first. I mean, they've essentially clinched first position unless Australia wins by like 6 goals, which is obviously not going to happen. They've clinched first. Hey! Nice block. Alrighty. This is the first time they've started Braithwaite. I think it is. People have been begging for Scott Olsen. The Danes have been begging for Scott Olsen. He's here. There we go. That's the starting 11. Good save by Ryan. Denmark. I mean, if you're Denmark, you have to win this game if you want to play knockout ball. They have to win this. You can't not beat Australia, who is, based off results, one of, if not the worst team at this tournament. Zeers, thank you so much for the sub, my dude. Australia's probably going to run out a very familiar looking team. Aaron Moy, Riley McGree, who has great hair. Why? Every time I look over at the Tunisia match, it's Tunisia that's going forward. I feel like these guys that they've brought in for the French team are very much not comfortable playing at a World Cup yet. Set pieces will be tough against Australia. That's an really good team. One change of right back, that's it. Is that Milos just starting the game instead of subbing in? Then Harry Maguire Suter. All right, here we go. We're actually set now. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's time to actually watch some matches. I am so excited. All right, so we have Australia and Denmark on one screen. We've got Tunisia and France on the other, but of course, a lot of the main drama is expected in Australia, Denmark. Oh my goodness, we did it. Is Rasmus? Why did I type Andreas? I have no idea. Absolutely none. You're absolutely right. I was thinking of Andreas Cornelius, not even Christensen, who's hanging out there. Or Scott Olsen, I guess. I missed yesterday's team. Congrats to the U.S. going through. Thank you, dude. It was awesome. It was awesome. Do you think the Wren should have gotten a pin yesterday? Obviously, no. But that's one of those where I can't even tell if I can't even tell if I'm biased or not, right? I legitimately can't even tell. I don't think I am. I mean, it looked outrageously soft, but... Darby Boots, thank you for the 15 months, my dude. As a neutral, it was never a penalty. It definitely wasn't a pen. Still gave me a heart attack, though, I'll tell you. Still gave me a whole heart attack. There we go. That was never a pin. It's a contact sport. I'm just happy. So happy they didn't call it because we deserved the win. We take our foot off the gas so passionately. We did the same thing against Wales and we did pay for it. So many balls into the box, just like inevitably creating a penalty again, you know. You think you'll beat the Netherlands? I am happy because I think we have a chance. I think the Dutch go into it as favorites, but I do feel like we have a very good chance. Our midfield, Netherlands is built very similarly to the way we are. Both teams are missing the actual goal provider. I think our midfield might be able to handle, like, Gakpo's obviously a fabulous player, but we have Adams, McKennie, and Musa, and they've looked fabulous this whole tournament. Denmark have been all over it for the first 18 minutes. I find it hard to believe that they won't score. I am watching both. I've got Tunisia, France over here. I have audio for Australia, Denmark, though. That's why we have the rosters for Australia, Denmark, and clock and everything. But I do have both games up. Honestly, their times are almost synced exactly. Australia and Tunisia 7 seconds behind on my other screen. Ooh, little space here for Australia. Oh, lucky pass it wide. Oh boy. Probably should have just gone wide with that. Best striker in U.S. national team history is Clint Dempsey. Then Brian McBride. I say Landon Donovan's not really a striker, but Clint, in my opinion, is the best U.S. player ever. Yeah, I totally think we can beat the Dutch. Oh boy, Mela. Oh my! Dude, what? Matt Ryan with the triple save on one shot. He like parried it to his foot and then kicked it clear. I think the best thing about this for Australia is that the way their team is built is their best player is their goalkeeper. Matt Ryan is their only Premier League regular in the whole team. He's not even super regular right now, but still. Sam Paddock with 3 saves. That was clever, though. You parry it to your foot and then just kick it away. Nice shield. Harry Suter's my player to watch because they need to draw. What would be hilarious is if Australia pulls off the draw and France doesn't beat Tunisia, like actually beats France. That would actually put Tunisia through. Tunisia has to win. Oh, come on, Suter. That ball's to nobody, man. That ball is to absolutely nobody. He doesn't play in the Prem anymore? Wait, are you serious? Matt Ryan isn't, like, backing up at Brighton anymore? When did he move? He does. He plays at Copenhagen, which makes this kind of funny, actually. Oh, last year. Last year he started moving around. Fair enough. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Camavinga up until this match for France. Honestly. It is miraculous that Australia's even in this position. Oh my goodness, McCree! Riley McGree, that would have been outrageous. I'm watching both. I have audio for Denmark, Australia. We're gonna be mainly watching the more interesting game of the two, typically, which will be, in this case, pretty clearly Australia Denmark, because that has 2 teams in it that could be eliminated today. What really is a paradigm shifter is if Tunisia scores. Then things are about to get super weird, but other than that, it's just all Denmark, Australia. And Tunisia hasn't scored at this World Cup, so nice defense. Up Tunisia win is small justice for years of French colonization. It is always interesting when you play the country that was like that colonized your country. I feel like there's always a certain edge to that. I see it a lot of times. It'll be like France against a team from French West Africa. I don't know if like any of the Congo Deltas ever played against Belgium. You certainly, I mean, shoot, the U.S. played against England. That had a real edge to it, but I think like I'm sure South Africa's played against England. I mean, they do in various sports all the time. In Australia and New Zealand. Like, yeah, like England, USA. Dude, England, US, that... See, but it's longer ago, you know? So it's more of a meme and less of an actual, like, we're frustrated you did this sort of thing. Oh. Oh, Erickson. Space. Have a pop. Oh, he didn't want it. Skav Olsen. Oh, Skav Olsen. Oh. Easy enough. Hey, Tyler Matthew, thank you for the $16 donation to support Amnesty International. We're raising money for Amnesty. Great human rights organization that we picked at the beginning of the tournament really to counteract the damage that Qatar has done to humanity. I ratioed Fox Sports yesterday on Twitter because they were like, Qatar's known for its beautiful beaches and rolling sand dunes. And I was like, what else is it known for? Genuinely curious. What else is it known for? 16 for the round of 16. Go USA. Yes. Yeah, France is going to win this group unless they get blown out or Australia picks up a blowout win. So, I don't know. That last build-up was pretty good. I'm watching a replay of Kingsley Coman smacking a ball into the outside of the goal. Oh, nice press from Australia. And very well broken. Oh, but he was offside. The press works. Brilliant. How would you feel if they did extra time and penalties in the group stage as well? Nah. I think there's a certain charm to the group stage being you play 3 matches and those results of those 3 matches on merit are what bring you through. And you end up with those weird situations. I think Costa Rica and Australia are in very similar situations because they both lost their first match pretty handily and then all of a sudden found a way to pick up the all-important 3 points in their next match that makes it so easy to imagine them going through. Nice pass. Nice combo play. Oh. Didn't have the quality in the pass from Dagonek. I don't say wrong sport. I mean, it's something I'm sure FIFA's at least discussed. I'm sure they've talked about doing that. Oh, what a touch. I last time I watched Denmark, Jesper Lindstrom was awesome. And he looks awesome again. Oh, this is really good from Denmark. Just a second ahead of every part of the Australian defense. Oh, Lindstrom! Oh, that has to be a goal. Matthias Jensen, like, how does that ball not just hit him and go in? How is that not in the back of the, like, how is that not in the back of the net? Lindstrom did all of the hard stuff there. Good work. And then we have Tunisia, who's in the box again. Oh, Tunisia. Ben Slimani. I feel like Tunisia's actually got more shots than France, at least from what I've seen. Denmark is lacking strikers 100%. I mean, at least they used to be able to go with Yusuf Poulsen, but they don't seem to like him anymore. Braithwaite should be the guy, but he's not physical enough, I don't think, for the way that they want to play. I've always loved Jensen. Probably the biggest fan of him outside of his family, but he's always struggled for goals. I think it was more on the pass, honestly. The ball ended up behind him. I thought if you just hit him with the ball, it should have gone in. Like, ramped it in off of him. Australia's not exactly happy with the first 30 minutes, but at the same time, it's 0-0 after 30 minutes. I'm sure the atmosphere for the Tunisians is fantastic. They need a Nicholas Füllkrug. I mean, I think everybody, the U.S. needs a Nicholas Füllkrug. I wish we had a Nicholas Füllkrug. I'm watching the Tunisia corner right now. McGree. Oh my goodness, Duke. Timely tackle. Because this corner still hasn't come in. Good tackle by Christensen. Honestly, Australia going forward has been better than I think they were in the last two games, including Tunisia. They just had that one opportunity against Tunisia they took. Who would they play? The winner of Group C? Man, winning Group C would be like a ticket to the quarterfinals. I love the Aussies, but round of 16 is almost beyond their wildest dreams when you looked at the group draw of this tournament. It'd be such an insane accomplishment for this team. But of course, there's every possibility this group stays with a boring ending where the Danes, who have to get out of this group, and I said it in my prediction, I'd be shocked if it wasn't Denmark and France out of this group. Still get the goal, get out. Tunisia doesn't win against France by more than Denmark wins. We do have a Nicholas Füllkrug, but Greg didn't bring him with P-Folk. I wish we had P-Folk, man. Olay. I wish I wish the U.S. had a striker of any kind. Australia's playing Taunton ball, and I think the announcers, like the Fox announcers, are basically going, Australia's playing the way that they can play. They're playing to the strengths that they have. They're playing the only way that they have available to them against a team like Denmark. There's no doubt that Denmark has more talent than Australia, and that might not matter. Oh, good ball. Lecky! A chance to really open things up there. That was a really nice delivery towards Lecky. And meanwhile, Tunisia still bossing it. France is playing like a team that's already guaranteed to finish in first, and Tunisia is playing like a team that's going for a famous result and a spot in the knockouts. Maybe we shouldn't be as surprised as some of us feel about that. Oi! I just look over at his shots headed towards Mandanda. Wabi Khazri. Fun player. Spirit animal of the Tunisian national team. And the corner, oh man. Tunisia really can't get out of its own way when it comes to scoring goals, I think. France are definitely playing like a team that's already qualified. And that's bad news for Australia, honestly. Maybe even Denmark, because what we have overlooked is that if Tunisia, say, win 2-0 over France, and Denmark win 1-0 over Australia, that means Tunisia and Denmark are tied on points, goal difference, goals for, and results between teams, which at that point takes us to fair play. That is possible. That is possible. So Australia's defended really well. I don't know. Denmark's opened them up really well a couple of times, but Denmark's not showing a cutting edge. And Australia's going to make them have to show a cutting edge. Their goal has got to be to make Denmark earn the goal, right? Camavinga devouring that entire Tunisian attack. Proper defending from Australia, proper. Now the Tunisia attack. Oi. And a bad touch. Is this guy onside? Is Goodwin on? No. Yes, but it didn't matter because he couldn't find the ball. Fair enough. This is right where the United States scored in the exact same position that Denmark is in right now. This is right where the U.S. scored a goal. Prediction for Group C? Haven't quite made up my mind on that one yet. I think Mexico's going to make it interesting. They have too much pride in that national team not to make it spicy, but I do think Saudi Arabia is going to fade after their fabulous result. I think that loss really took the wind out of their sails, especially considering how well they played and didn't get more from it. But I think Mexico is much more capable than Poland at keeping the ball and just keeping Australia deflated. Or, Saudi Arabia deflated. I think Poland's going to be tough for Argentina, too. I think that very well might end in a draw, in which case Mexico could be hunting that Argentina knockout spot. Poland are gonna have a really serious physical advantage and a really serious set piece advantage in that game. Argentina's center backs are not big guys. Oh, that ball stayed in? Oh, McGree. Who are your options, Riley? Who are your options? Oh, it's a bad ball. Imagine Poland, Australia in the round of 16. It's possible. I mean, if Australia pulls off the draw, Poland pulls off the draw, that's what you're looking at. And then Saudi Arabia doesn't win. You're looking at Poland, Australia. All they need is draws from both those teams, and they're likely going to get it done. Or if Saudi Arabia wins, then it's Australia, Saudi Arabia in the round of 16, which who doesn't want that, right? Terrible ball from McGree, I agree. I'm sure the Tunisian fans are fabulous. I've got the audio for Australia, Denmark. The problem is with France, they can just explode so quickly like England against Wales, and then all of a sudden the game is just over. Really want that to happen. Australia against Saudi Arabia, it's totally in the cards. A win for Saudi Arabia, a not win for Poland. That's it. Oh, good ball for France. Oh, play it. Goodwin. Duke. This is good from Australia. Duke. That was pretty good. Terrible giveaway for Australia. Ericsson, who honestly is probably just gonna. I mean, Ericsson's taking the world on in the dribble now. Apparently, gonna need more from him. Oh, Lindstrom! Holy smokes, Lindstrom! I was right when I said he was a saucy player. Oof. Aaron Moy looks like he's running in quicksand, and then Lindstrom's pass again lets him down. Ooh, Denmark. Ooh, Tunisia. Oh, is he on? Oh, the ball to Khazri. Wabi Khazri. Dude, they're all over him. Great pass to put Khazri in. I think he might be offside. Didn't matter, though, because nobody got on the end of the freaking cross. Tunisia lucky to play against France that's already qualified? I mean, yeah. That is fortunate, but you're also still playing France. So would you rather play Denmark, who has to qualify, or France, who's already qualified? Those Aussie fans making some serious noise. France need a wake-up call. They might get it at halftime. Well, I guess this is an Asian World Cup, but for Australia, it's literally 15 hours away. 15 hours away on a plane for Australia. And it's in they're in their continent. Oh, Milos Degenek, terrible. Oh, bad giveaway by Moy, but he gets it back. And he gets it back again. Australia's playing the game they need to play. Can Denmark find the goal? And can France just go kill a dream? Tunisia's going to have to score its first goal of the tournament in order to be alive here. Right now, the way the results are, if Tunisia scores a goal, they're grabbing the second position in the group. One goal. A singular goal puts them into the knockouts. Dagadek just tried to back heel it off someone out of play, and it just rammed further in play. Genius. Lucky. Oh. Only got 2 minutes in Denmark, Australia, so should be headed to halftime. Skovels is so bad. Oh, that is such a bad tackle by Scott Olsen. He's just mad because his East bench was pestering him the whole time. There are plenty of places that are 15 hours away in Europe walking. Always wondered what happens when Guam has to play like Lebanon. It's just such an outrageously long flight. Can you imagine you have like your schedule in qualifying and you play at home and then you have to play away to Qatar? And it's a 15-hour flight. You have like 3 days to recover. In one qualifying window. Australia honestly looks like they could score a goal in this game. And that's got to be unsettling for Denmark. First half over. Australia is still the team going through on the live table. Nil-nil in both matches. We have 2 minutes of stoppage time in Tunisia, France, and I'm at 46-45. And it looks like we might have 2 nil-nils going into halftime. It got boring really fast. Unless you're Australian. Then all of a sudden this is very, very exciting. Oh, Tunisia. Wabi Kazri shooting from everywhere. I didn't get any bend on that. That's a poor hit. 3 out of the 4 teams haven't even reached .1 XG yet. World Cup knockout. Final day of the group stage, baby. Now, I'm okay with this. We've got like both matches are now at halftime. Both matches now at halftime. Who are you cheering for? Honestly, I am cheering for drama. Interesting results. I think Australia draw, like if both these matches end 0-0, it is Australia going through. I think that is tremendously interesting. That's not what anybody predicted. This Australian team barely had any business getting into the tournament. I thought it was miraculous they qualified in the first place. They finished 1 point ahead of Oman in Asian qualifying to get into the Asian playoff. They survived the UAE. They beat Peru on penalties in a match that they struggled through. So, yeah, if Tunisia scores in the 93rd minute to go to the knockouts, yes, that would be scenes. Congrats on reaching the next round, but unfortunately it would also end there. Hey, super beer, you know? Happy-go-lucky U.S. national team. Why can't we go further? Asian teams have surprised this World Cup. Yeah, they have, honestly. And that's good news because Asia's getting 4 more automatic qualifying spots for the next World Cup. So, get Iraq and Oman and the UAE and Australia in there automatically. Australia had to go through the playoff. Super serious poll, dude. Who? What? Oh my goodness. A player of the match or player of the half. Player of the half. Is it less than 1 total XG? The Cult of Khazri, the France B team, or Taunton Ball? That is your official vote for player of the half. This is very serious. It's very scientific. Please pay attention to it. Please vote your conscience. Clear favorite for the player of the half. Yeah, just absolutely nothing happening. Sounds legit. Honestly, considering 2 countries are about to be eliminated from the World Cup in the next half an hour or next hour, you'd think there'd be a little more intensity, but in every game the U.S. have played, they've been the better side. I would agree with that statement, but I'm also obviously biased. Thoughts on African teams this World Cup? Who will go the furthest? I was very surprised. I know we had like a broken camera thing while we were trying to stream the Ecuador-Senegal from the bar, but I was very surprised by the ability that Senegal showed against Ecuador, because we knew how good Ecuador was. They played so well against the Netherlands, and then, oi. Beautiful. Oh, they're updating on Pulisic's injury. His status is day-to-day for a pelvic contusion. Pelvic contusion, no problem at all. He's fine. How's Denmark, Australia? It's good. It's slow, which is what Australia wants. I mean, honestly, the fact that it's slow is very concerning for very concerning for Denmark. He's been the worst 45 minutes of my life. The second half has to heat up, right? I mean, Denmark has to score or it's going to get knocked out by Australia. As an Australian, I'm happy the way it is. They've got to throw themselves forward. What's the deal in CONCACAF qualifying now that 3 of the teams are already qualified? There will be 3 qualifying spots from CONCACAF and a playoff spot available. So 4 teams can make it that aren't the 3 hosts. That's the deal. That's the deal from CONCACAF. So there will be 3 other teams outside of the hosts, plus a team that goes to the Intercontinental Playoff from CONCACAF. CONCACAF has 2 playoff spots, but because it has 3 hosts, it actually is dropping down to 1 playoff spot. Yeah, so CONCACAF is going to have 6 qualifying spots plus 2 playoff spots in the new format. But because 3 CONCACAF teams are hosting, that halves the number of spots. There's 3 spots, and then, yeah. Curacao, El Salvador, Panama. The light is on for Jamaica, right? Trinidad and Tobago to get themselves back. I mean, all of those teams will be looking at this qualifying cycle going, let's go. No, it's 2 playoff spot. For 2026, it says they get 2 playoff spots. All right, maybe they get 2 playoff spots. Somebody earlier, when I say earlier, 4 or 5 days ago when we had this conversation, said that they'd changed the playoff spot allocation because CONCACAF had 3 hosts, but that didn't make sense in my head. Guatemala, I mean, if you did it this time, right? If you did it this time, you would have taken Costa Rica, would have qualified automatically, Panama and Jamaica. Those would have been the 3 teams that would have qualified, and then the playoff would have been El Salvador and Honduras. But you look at a team like Curacao that lost the previous round in a home and away. They lost on penalties to Panama. You had a team like Haiti that lost to Canada in the round going in. Those teams, if they get to the final round, could totally make an impact, and I expect them to, without the U.S., Mexico, and Canada, make the final round. It said the new format's controversial. I love it. I hate FIFA in basically everything they do, but I think the 48-team World Cup is a necessary expansion. I think that the round of 32 for the knockouts is going to be great. I think it gives opportunities to a lot of nations that deserve it. I mean, in particular, when you look at Africa, like Africa, the 4 teams that would have made it from Africa are Egypt, Nigeria, Algeria, and Mali. Those 4 teams on quality could totally win a game at this World Cup right now. Like, yo. And OFC has a guaranteed spot, which is fun. Like New Zealand or maybe the Solomon Islands can help grow the game that way. Hoping Tunisia scores in the last minute to take the win. It would be absolutely insane if they did. I don't like 3-team groups. I don't like 3-team groups either, but I think that they work. And I understand them not wanting to do third-place teams, because if they do 4-team groups, you got to do third-place teams. And 3-team groups actually means there are less matches. I think if they went to 4-team groups, it would really limit who could host, because you need so many matches. Remember Germany beating the Solomon Islands 12-0 in the 2026 World Cup? Nah, New Zealand's taking that spot, dude. Although the team that finishes second in Oceania goes to the Intercontinental Playoff. So there will be like a Tahiti, a Vanuatu going to the Intercontinental Playoff. New Caledonia has been good at various points. Tunisia's too scared of losing to try and score. Why would you not try to score, though? Because 1 goal for Tunisia sends them to the knockouts. You've got to go for it right now. At least have teams play each other twice or something in 3-team groups. Yeah, but that wouldn't solve the problem of the number of matches. So, yeah, right now, it's if you make the group stage, you play the other 2 teams in your group once. The top 2 teams in the group go through to the round of 32, you know? Yeah, because right now it's top 2 in the group go through, and only the bottom team in the group gets knocked out. So there's always drama on that final match day. Tunisia isn't afraid. They just can't. No, I don't think they've looked afraid at all. I don't think they're afraid of losing. I just think Tunisia's greatest issue, and almost more so than any other team at this World Cup, is Tunisia cannot score. They can't. They made the World Cup. They did not score their own goal in the African playoffs. It was an own goal from Mali, and they won 1-0 on 180 minutes of play. Who do I think is going to win the World Cup? I have Brazil. I have Brazil beating France in the final. Tunisia and Mexico are allergic to scoring. Mexico don't have a goal, do they? No. It's Uruguay, Tunisia, and Mexico that don't have a goal at this World Cup. Come on, Mexico. Is that a Danish dude in a Native American headdress? I didn't know Pele was battling cancer. I didn't know he was battling cancer either. But isn't he also like 80-something? Camavinga to play left back in the Champions League, I think. Is he playing left back today? Is that why every time I look over, he's like devouring Tunisian attacks? He's 82. Yeah. Did Portugal surprise you, though? I think Portugal surprised a lot of Portuguese people. Every Portuguese person that was here and talking about the matches was convinced they were going to struggle in that group. And then you know what? They come out, they get 6 points. Wasn't an easy 6 points, right? Uruguay made it difficult. Ghana made it ridiculously nerve-wracking, but imagine not having a goal when Qatar does. True. Against a team that advanced, Qatar scored their goal against Senegal. Imagine not having a goal with Suarez, Cavani, and Darwin Nunez in your squad. I mean, Suarez actually hasn't looked that good. Cavani and Darwin Nunez have looked better, I think. But their best chance was Bentancur was in on goal. And even though he was in on goal, he couldn't score it. How bad's Pulisic's injury? He literally just got hit really hard in the nuts. He's fine. He's day-to-day with a pelvic contusion. Have you watched Qatar's performance? How are they the current Asian champions? Dude, I don't know. I watched, and I would recommend you watch if you ever want to see what Qatar actually looks like when they play and they're not super nervous. The extended highlights to that like Asian Cup run, and particularly the final against Japan, they look great. They look super confident. They're very like the Qatar style and the golf style of play is very technical, very oriented around a number 10 in skillful attacking play, and that's what they had in that game, in that tournament. Paulinho is our secret weapon. The man just likes destroying the ball. They keep bringing Paulinho in off the bench. I think they should start him. But William Carvalho actually played really well in the last match. Qatar performed better outside Qatar, yeah. Like, Qatar was only the third lowest ranked team at this World Cup. They're 51st in the world. Ghana's like 65th, and Saudi Arabia's 53rd. They're both ranked below Qatar. Unless they get an experience. That's why he prefers to call the game soccer, and it's totally reasonable. I'm sorry this has already been discussed, but I haven't been able to be around a lot of late. Is FM paused until after the World Cup? No, it's not. We're going to start FM streams up in the next couple of days. I don't know how we're going to do it. I'm not going to do one today. But now that we're not streaming 4 matches a day, which is like 10, 11 hours, now that is over, we'll be able to play Football Manager again. Yeah, we'll be back next day or two. Up the Seacocks. Oh, the Danes are making a change. Both teams coming back onto the field now. Christensen's coming off. My boy Andreas No Rasmus Christensen is off. They're literally playing Kung Fu fighting in the stadium right now. Wait, Australia's making a change. They just brought Craig Goodwin off, who is like beloved, scored the goal against France, and they brought in Bacchus, who's played in each of the matches off the bench. The Roman god of wine. All right, 1 sub apiece at halftime. Enjoy the second half. Up the Aussies. Australia right now is the team that's going through because both matches are 0-0 and the draw gives Australia 4 points and a spectacular 4 points after a stern loss to France. They're still the only team that scored against Tunisia. Denmark couldn't do it. France couldn't do it. Hasn't done it yet. All right, we're off and running. Let me get the clock synced up. Put the clock up, dude. Oh, now they finally they didn't put the clock up for the first 30 seconds of the half. Now, how am I supposed to sync this up if you do that? All right, clock is synced. Here we go. Tunisia and France is actually ahead of Australia and Denmark now for me. We borked the clock. What? Tunisia and France is at 46-20. Australia and Denmark's at 46:02. Well, you see the clock. Hey! Might there just be a flying Harry Suitor header at the end of one of these corners? Wasn't a bad corner for Moy. That's not a foul in the France-Tunisia game. Wabi Kazri's really hoping that he gets that, but Chouameni doesn't really. I think he gets the ball first. Man, Denmark's build-up play through this press has been really pretty to watch at times, and it just comes to nothing again. Oh, yo! I feel like that was a better chance than the announcers or really anybody is reacting to for Jackson Irvine in the Aussie game. That was a very legit opportunity. So we are one goal away from all three teams finishing second in this group. One goal for Tunisia right now would put them in. One goal from Denmark would put them in. And if things hold, it's Australia that is going through in second position. It hangs on a knife's edge, chat. Well constructed by Tunisia. What a tackle by Camavinga. Oh my. Tunisia just can't figure out how to actually put an attacking play together to save its life right now. Not at all. Wait, they used to call Aaron Moy the pasty Pirlo? That's so good. Aaron Moy, the pasty Pirlo. The announcer just dropped that little factoid, and I can't get over it. Lindstrom hasn't replicated his Bundesliga form. He's played really well. Everything but his end product in this match has been great. The single best option for Denmark to open up Australia so far has been Lindstrom on the run. Oh, that was a classy play from Tunisia, but the ball was overhit. Oh, Tunisia. Oh, Tunisia. What a chance. Oh, yeah, full flop. I don't know. He looked like he's shaking his hand very weirdly. But he did go down too easily, obviously, for the refs' liking. Denmark is starting to put Australia under siege here early in the second half. Oh! Who blocked that for Australia? Was it Kai Rolls? Because he is struggling. Yeah, it was Kai Rolls. Caught a shot right to the stomach. Oh. Got hit with a full shot just right in the sternum. You gonna make any prediction videos for the round of 16? How about prediction videos like forward? We are gonna be making a video recapping everything that's happened. Do you think Saudi Arabia has a chance against Mexico? Yeah, if they play as well as they did in the first two matches, I think Saudi Arabia could totally win that match and go through. I'm picking Mexico to win it because I think we're going to see a bit more of an energetic Mexico than we've seen before. But if we don't, yeah, I think Saudi Arabia is good. I also think the matchups really the favor Mexico. The way Mexico plays, such a technical possession-oriented system. I think it could take Saudi Arabia out of the groove they found against Poland and out of the groove they got in the second half against Argentina. There's three guys on Lindstrom on that play for Denmark. This is going to start to get nervy. What do you think about Poland, Argentina? Who you got? I think a draw is totally possible. I think Mexico's going to make it really interesting too by getting off the schneid and actually scoring a goal. It's funny, they subbed out one right back for another right back on Denmark, and I haven't noticed either of them on the field like one time. This MS1 broadcast, the worst quality I've seen all World Cup. Oh, the one for Australia, Denmark? I haven't thought it was bad at all. Do you have Mexico coming out of the group or just winning the game? I mean, they have to win by multiple. I think if Mexico wins, they'll win by multiple. I think if they don't win, I think Saudi Arabia is actually going to win. But the crowd for that game is going to be exceptional. The crowd in that game is going to be amazing. Because Mexico travels so well, and Saudi Arabia's fans have been so good in this tournament. It's such a weird group. Like, even this group is straightforward compared to what could happen in that group. You got two teams on 3 points. You got one team on 4 points, one team on 1 point. Like, everybody, it seems, could finish almost anywhere. Oh, great touch by Lecky. It's getting Damsgaard and Dahlberg ready on the Danish side. Looks like Tunisia's getting that striker that, honestly, it started their last two games at this World Cup. They're getting him ready to come in. The number 9. I can't remember his name, but I like the way he was playing. even though he wasn't scoring. So Braithwaite might be coming off for moving to a wing. You know if the A-League clubs participate in Asian club tournaments? Yeah, they do. They definitely do. The Mr. Beast Burgers low-key fire. It is, actually. I actually really enjoy it. I had like 3 that day that opened, dude. All right, Denmark. Oh, he hit the freaking corner flag, and then he got pulled down. That's a free kick for Denmark. Now we've got Tunisia going forward. Wabi Khazri. Oh, wait a second. Oh, Wabi Khazri. Oh, it's a goal. It's a goal for Tunisia. It's Wabi Khazri. I said if Tunisia was going to do anything at this tournament, the player to watch is the guy that always scores the goal for them, and it's Wabi Khazri, and it is Wabi Khazri. Australia is now in the mud. Both Australia and Denmark are out as it stands. And Tunisia will be going through on goal difference over Australia. Wow. Tunisia grabs the lead over France. Score is in. It's Wabi Khazri now. Denmark, oh. And of course, a Denmark goal would all of a sudden bump Tunisia out of place. Australia have to score unless France scores. And a goal for Denmark would knock Tunisia out. So Kasper Dolberg is in. Matthias Jensen and Martin Braithwaite are out. They just subbed out Wabi Khazri. What? Wabi Khazri scores the goal and gets subbed out immediately. All right, changes are in for Denmark. Dahlberg and Damsgaard are in, and now Denmark can break Tunisian hearts with a goal instead of Australian hearts. Australia needs a goal to advance because Tunisia is beating France. Now it's getting spicy. He got hurt, really? Oh, that's unfortunate for Wabi Khazri. But you know what? Like, honestly, Wabi Khazri is he's already unloaded the magic bullet. He's already done the thing that he was on the team to do, and that's score the special goal again. Now it's just Mexico and Uruguay that haven't scored at this World Cup because Tunisia has. Oh, better from Denmark. Oh, now it's Australia. Now it's Australia. It's Leckie. Oh, it's Matthew Leckie. Oh, it's Matthew Leckie for Australia. Unbelievable. And it's a heartbreaker for Tunisia. Denmark's in the mud and the Aussies might be going through. Wow. Matthew Leckie. What a couple of minutes. Australia has never won 2 games at a World Cup before. And if the result holds, they will. It's Matthew Leckie, the talisman, the new man. What a finish. What a play. Matthew Leckie, right after Wabi Khazri was such a similar goal for Tunisia. A goal that would have sent Tunisia through, but now it's Australia. Tunisia needs another goal. Australia with the lead. What? All right. So I gotta update the score. Update the score. There it is. Matthew Leckie has scored, and Tunisia is now back out. There was like 2 minutes where Tunisia was going through, but now Australia scored a goal, and Tunisia needs Denmark to score 1, but not 2. Tunisia needs Denmark to score 1 goal, but not 2, and then Tunisia's back in. Oh my goodness. I wonder if they even knew that they needed the goal. But they found the goal regardless. Tunisia's beating France, but they still might be out of the World Cup. France is making changes. Try and shake free a result. Of course, if France scores, then Australia's even more safe. If France scores, then Australia has a 2-goal cushion. They brought in Mbappe, Saliba, and Rabiot. Ooh, they brought in Mbappe. Oh, boy. Against a tired opponent. That is mean. France is like, yeah, we don't want to lose this game. The Aussies have 6 points. And I did look directly at as right as I was about Wabi Cosby. I was very wrong about this Australian team. Oh, what a ball. Never mind, it wasn't a good ball at all. What a look. It was open. No, France can't be eliminated, no. France already clinched and essentially had already clinched first place in the group. So that's why France rotated its team so heavily today. France has a 4-goal difference advantage over Australia, even though they will be tied in points. France and Australia will be tied in points if results hold, which is insane. Australia has 6 points and a -1. France has 6 points and a +3. Denmark needs 2 goals. And still, with 2 goals, Denmark would go through. With 2 goals, Denmark goes through. Oh, good. Change a level pass now for Denmark. Denmark has a chance to make Tunisia's day. If Denmark can score 1 goal, but not 2, just 1, Tunisia's going through. This is stunning for Denmark. This is stunning for Denmark. Australia was the second best team in this group. Changed my mind. Look, in the live stand, I mean, Australia's got 6 freaking points from this group. And ever my wildest, I picked them to have 0. Based off everything we knew about this team and their qualifying form and everything else, this team is a World Cup specialist. Australia is a World Cup specialist nation. Like, honestly, they've made 5 straight World Cups. They've got a ton of World Cup experience, even though in 3 of those 5 World Cups, they had to qualify through the playoff system. They have qualified for 5 straight, and Yeah, unreal. They have that experience. It's come to bear. They know exactly what is needed. Tunisia's winning? No way. Yes. And then Tunisia scored first. And when Tunisia scored, they were then going through. And then Australia scored. So now it's Australia going through again in second place. And they need to win against Denmark to go through. A draw in Denmark, Australia sends Tunisia through, and a win for Denmark sends Denmark through. What a run by Bench. What in the world? Aziz Bench just absolutely, I mean, they felt that one in Copenhagen. I don't know where this came from. And then the pass was so bad. Wow. Lionel Bench. Here comes Tunisia. A second goal for Tunisia would essentially put the nail in Denmark's coffin, because a second goal for Tunisia would mean Denmark needs to win by 2. Denmark's preparing its last 2 changes as well. Well, this is spiced up in the second half. Every team in this group would end up with at least 4 points, except for Denmark, who right now has 1. Ooh. Oh, Skov so disappointing for Denmark at this tournament. So tremendously disappointing for Denmark. What's happening right now? I thought those subs were coming in. I guess not yet. Now the changes. All right, they're bringing off Skov Olsen, who I totally agree with that based off the way this has gone today. So they're bringing in Robert Skov, Bundesliga guy, and Andreas Cornelius, who they love having around. And they brought out Mela as well. Andreas Cornelius and Robert Skov. That's it. Those are all the subs that they have. Who did Skov come in for? Oh yeah, Skov Olsen. Really leveling down from a guy who had Skov and another thing in his name to just Robert Skov, but you know, whatever. Tunisia does not control its own destiny here. So even though it's beating France, it can't do anything because Australia's on 6 points. Tunisia needs Denmark to score a goal or else it cannot do anything. And in the meantime, they can't go behind against, or they can't give up a goal to France or else they're out again. No matter what happens. Did I previously say Denmark are the tournament dark horses? Yes, I put them in the top 6 or 7 teams to win the tournament. And they've subsequently played terribly. Oh, penalty! What? Oh, whoa, he's offside. Whoa! Oh, he's off, and it's so close. Oh, wow. All of Tunisia and Denmark on the edge of their seat, and it's determined by half a body length. Tunisia and Denmark's World Cup dreams determined by half of a body length. He's off, though. He's definitely off. And that was definitely a penalty. Harry Suter just elbowed Dahlberg in the face. Unreal. Kylian Mbappe not doing much right now. That was a bad pass from him. But of course, all eyes are on Denmark, Australia now because that's where 3 teams' fates are determined. Graham Arnold talking about substitutions for Australia. Right, they're bringing on Griezmann. Oh my, they are. Now, France does not want to lose to Tunisia. That would not help. You want to maintain momentum, and they figured they had enough talent to win the game anyways, but now they're having to bring in the big guns. Tunisia's going to have to earn it. But yeah, I said Denmark was, out of all the teams that haven't won a World Cup, it was like Portugal and Denmark that were the teams that had a real chance to win that and be a new team that wins the World Cup. And I part of that was I thought Denmark had a really easy group. Oh, what is that header? Oh my God, Andreas Cornelius. What is this header? This guy thinks he's Fuelkrug. Fuelkrug! Sub. They're bringing off Riley McGree. I do not know who 8 is. Bailey Wright. Apparently. His first appearance at this World Cup. Midfielder off, defender on, is what they're saying. So Bailey Wright's going to lock in a defensive player. Yeah, but look, I said, and this is a real thing that I said out loud, and it goes to show you how crazy the World Cup is. I said I would be stunned if Denmark and France didn't come out of this group. I said it was the most straightforward group at the World Cup. Denmark was the best team in qualifying in Europe. They won their first 9 qualifying matches. They were the first team to qualify. They made the semifinals at the Euros. I mean, based off form and everything, Denmark was as good as any team in the world coming into this tournament. And they start with a draw against Tunisia, and you're thinking, okay, just slow start. I mean, they could very well beat France. They've beaten France the last 2 times they've played them, but the World Cup's a different beast. You just don't know how teams are going to react to it, and Denmark has reacted really poorly. And, of course, that whole narrative could change in the next 16 minutes. But, again, refresh the scenario. If Denmark scores 1 goal, Tunisia will be going through. If Denmark scores 2 without reply, it will be Denmark going through. Australia, if it holds on to its lead, will have 6 points. Oh, my goodness, Keanu Bacchus. What is gotten into Australia? Dude. If France equalizes with Tunisia, Tunisia has no chance to go through, and that is insurance for Australia. Sanadron, thank you for the 4. I appreciate it, my dude. Thanks for being a part of the Hammers. Looking like USA, Australia in the final. It's the only logical explanation. Aussie's looking like prime Brazil with the kit. Honestly, the Australian kit has become, you know, World Cup heritage over the last 5 World Cups. The Aussies always seem to be up to something weird. Their first 5 World Cups ever are the last 5 World Cups, and they've made 5 straight. It's such a weird run that they're on, and they just keep showing up. And I mean, they almost took points off France at the last World Cup. They were super annoying for everybody they played at the last World Cup. They had Mile Jedinak cashing in penalties left and right. Well defended by Tunisia. Australia still has 2 sub windows and 3 subs left. We'll see who they use that for. Made one in this. Really? You know, I didn't think you'd ever made one until this run started. I remember doing the research. You might have not scored in that one World Cup in the 70s. That might have been it. So you got like your first World Cup point and your first World Cup goals. I'll look it up. It's going to bother me. Both matches in a tame moment. Should have the chance to do this. Australia men's national soccer team. Competitive record. Yeah, it's true. You did make one in 1974 and drew one match, and then you made your second in 2006 and have made every World Cup since 2006. And in 3 of those 5 World Cup appearances in this run, Australia has won at least one match. Australia has never won multiple matches at a World Cup before. This would be the first team to ever do it. France seeing a ton of the ball against Tunisia now. Lecky. Irvine. I mean, what is this? They're like Joga Bonitoing all over the place. Patch just went for the nutmeg. Oh my goodness. They're going for it. They are going for it. Said Germany was the first team to qualify on October 11th. It was the same match day. So technically, a number of matches they're tied, and for first and qualifying for the World Cup. Oi! A bit of an awkward save for the Tunisian goalkeeper. We're flying around. Oh yeah, I forgot it's Bogo Jonito, according to Fox. Yeah, I mean, Denmark-Australia is the match where all of this is being decided. Like, Tunisia taking the lead against France, if they hold that, everything is decided here. I have both matches up, though, which I'd highly recommend you do the same. It's been a wonderful way to watch this. Oi, Denmark. Oh, man. You know what's amazing to me is, with all of the need, like, Denmark needs multiple goals. They still have not created one good goal-scoring opportunity in this game. Denmark has not created one good goal-scoring opportunity in this game. I don't know how that happens. Oi, oi. Well, they're preparing Jamie McLaren to come in for Australia. Which is interesting because he's a forward, so they were just trying to put energy on the front line. Probably come in for Mitch Duke. And then they'll have 2 subs and 1 substitution window left if they choose to use it. This is unbelievable. Absolute meltdown from Denmark. What a terrible pass across the back line. It's just an absolute meltdown. See Jamie McLaren rocking the conquistador look with the facial hair there. Does Australia have any players from top 5 leagues? Matt Ryan was a Premier League goalkeeper for a long time. He is not anymore. He actually plays for Copenhagen. They have, I mean, really, no. Like, Australia really doesn't. They've got Aaron Moy, who plays in Scotland. They have a few guys that play in Scotland for Hearts, like Harry Suter. Jackson Irvine's like a high-level championship player, but he plays in Germany now. Where does Mobile play? I didn't know Mobile did. I forgot about Hrustich, but I know about Mabio. Where does Mabio play? Suter plays for Stoke now. All these guys have moved. Oh, that's not an open shot. Nervy, if he plays at Cadiz, okay. I honestly wouldn't have said Cadiz was even in La Liga. Australia does draw a significant number of its players from the A-League. Guy like Jamie McLaren plays in the A-League, the guy that's about to sub in. Hi, here comes McLaren. I'm glad chat was able to help get Fisher, because clearly even after all that research on this team, it's important to note it's just not a team that should have the quality to do what it's doing right now. It is greater than the sum of its parts, clearly. All right, McLaren is in, and right now, it's still Australia. 1 goal from Denmark would make it Tunisia. 2 goals from Denmark would make it Denmark. Jamie McLaren, the 3rd sub for Australia. Ali Abdi's come in for Tunisia, a defender to try and help see that result out, because that's all Tunisia can do. I don't think Denmark was overhyped. I think they choked. I think there's a difference. I think Denmark just flat out choked in this tournament. They just didn't play well. They showed up and didn't play anywhere nearly as well as they're capable of, and Australia has played better than I think anybody thought they were capable of. Yeah, Mitch Duke plays in the 2nd tier in Japan. I remember somebody saying that. He's their starting striker. He's Australia's starting striker. Ten minutes maybe for Australia. Oh, glancing header. Nope. France pinging the ball all over the place. France has got all its best players out there. Oh, Rabiot with the miss hit. Tunisia's dreams are alive, but Tunisia needs Denmark to score a goal. If Tunisia does not get a goal from Denmark, Tunisia will beat France and be eliminated on the same day. A confusing set of emotions for Tunisia. Even commentating the games is illegal, yes. That's why I can't put radio stations out of business. If I do play-by-play of the games, that is illegal. It's rebroadcasting of the event. Oh, a little space here? Most of Tunisian fans French anyways. I mean, they're Tunisian, or they're rooting for Tunisia. Anyone watched Leeds United and United tour of Australia in the preseason? You know that Australia is good. I think the world knows that Australia is still good and competitive now. I mean, I cannot overstate how shocking this is. There's every argument to be made that Australia was the worst team at this tournament, including Qatar. Don't think Denmark deserves to win it all? No. I don't think Denmark deserves to win this game either. I think Australia, as insane as it sounds, has had the better chances in this game, and I don't know how that happens. I do not know how that happens to this Danish team. It is heartbreaking for Tunisia to actually do what they needed, but to have Australia just pull off a massive upset of Denmark. Like, well, by the way, while Tunisia's pulling off a huge upset, Australia's also pulling off a huge upset to thwart Tunisia's hopes. Like, as an Aussie, I mean, look, if you're an Aussie, this is, I mean, has Australia ever been to the Australia has been to the knockouts one time before. It was a long time ago. It was like 2006, I think. Yeah. 2006 was the last time Australia, and the only time Australia made the round of 16. Chance to write their name in Aussie history here. That is a foul. I don't know how that's not a foul. He grabbed the guy and fell over. There's just chaos going on. Like, chaos everywhere. Yeah, and they had like 12 players in the top 5 leagues. Now they have, I think, well, what we did the math, they have 2. Our Mobile, who hasn't touched the field, and Aiden Hrustich, who has not touched the field. Those are the 2 guys. Oh my goodness. Dolberg, Suter! Oh! My player to watch, Harry Suter, sailing in with another massive challenge. Harry Suter. All legs, flying around. Absolutely incredible resilience from Tunisia. Mbappe, brilliant. Whoa, nice save. Good parry as well. I mean, this is Tunisia's, like, biggest win ever. Lecky's coming off. Oh, they're bringing in Hrustich. They're bringing in Hrustich. Matthew Lecky's goal is the reason Australia is set for the knockouts in their first multi-win World Cup ever. Unless we get a goal from Denmark. A last-minute goal from Denmark would send the entire country of Tunisia into riotous celebration because that goal would send Tunisia through. Denmark needs 2. But Tunisia just has to hang on. Oh! Colomboani just missed by inches for France. It's all happening now. I can't believe, I mean, Denmark is really that last chance that Suter blocked off was like their best chance this whole game. They gotta pump the ball into the box here. They have. How is that a foul on Damsgaard? Dagenek going down easy there. Milos Dagenek. Or was a flop. No doubt at all it's a flop, but still. Yeah, that Danish fan, I feel you. If I'm Danish, I'm stunned. Australia, Tunisia is the group that's undone you here. That's outrageous. That's why you gotta let more teams in the World Cup. Why the expansion of 48's a good thing. Gotta give these teams that on paper don't have a chance. Because, you know, that Australian tactical astuteness and toughness and willingness to run. That's done it for Australia. Look at McLaren! Jamie McLaren! He wants Keanu Bacchus. He's not gonna find him. Oh. Well, they've done a good job to keep the ball up the field. Lionel Bajic here wins the ball to the pasty Pirlo, Aaron Moy. I mean, I don't know how Australia has done this. I have no idea. But they're 5 minutes away now. 6 minutes of extra time in Australia, Denmark. 8 minutes in France, Tunisia, of which a minute is already gone, and Tunisia still holding on to a win. Oh, Eriksson. Couldn't corral it. He couldn't corral it. Oi. Nope. One goal from Denmark sends Tunisia to the knockouts. The Tunisian fans are looking at their phones. 2 goals for Denmark late. Miraculously gets them into the round of 16. That looked like a foul on Australia, but they didn't call it. Mbappe has a free kick, which would actually keep, if he scores this, would keep Australia in, even if Denmark scores. So there's a lot of different ways this could go. Easy defense for Suter. Mbappe. Oh. Top of the wall. How many balls has Harry Suter won in this game? Every single time it's a ball forward, it's Harry Suter just... It's that meme from The Simpsons, the guy flying through the window. That's Harry Suter. He's devouring any chance for a long ball here. Impossible to say France isn't winning the World Cup, though. They started their entire backup team in this game, and they played with no intensity from the start. Huge win for Tunisia. But, like, if they hold on to it. But I don't think you can hold this performance against France as much as credit Tunisia with it. Oh, corner to Denmark. 3 minutes to go. Schmeichel's up. Camavinga's been fouled. France has a ball from deep here in a sec. Ball in for Denmark. Ryan's there. And Australia's 3 minutes away. Unbelievable set of results on the last day in Group C. Anything is possible at this tournament. The Socceroos, a footballing backwater in the Pacific Ocean, who've only been to the knockouts one time ever and have never won more than one game at a World Cup. About to stun everybody, including my... Oh, yo! Oh, Ryan with the save. What? They're about to stun everybody's dark horse pick. That's what the sport's all about, honestly. It's 11 dudes on a field with a chance. Oh, ball up, header down. Oi, okay. Ryan wasn't sure he could pick that up, puts it out for a corner. Another Denmark corner. Schmeichel's coming back up. He's getting his workout in. Tunisia's holding on to the lead. They're actually countering right now. Denmark definitely, I mean, there's not enough time for 2 goals for Denmark, but one would send Tunisia through. Oh, the header! Oh! Oh! Oh my goodness. Australia is 40 seconds away from grabbing a round of 16 spot against every odd. And Denmark is surely now out of this tournament. They need 2 goals. All the Tunisian players huddled in the dugout looking at their phones. They're seeing that even though they beat France in the final match day, that they're not going through if everything holds. They're not sleeping in Melbourne tonight. They're not sleeping in Sydney tonight, or Perth, or Adelaide, because Australia is going to the knockouts at the World Cup. 1-0. The Socceroos have stunned the world. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I have no idea how that happened. But Australia has won. The game is over. Tunisia's finding out the game is over and will finish third in the group. Whether it will be with a famous win over France or a draw is being settled. The final minute of action between France and Tunisia is still going. I don't know what Casper Huelman could be arguing about with the referee, but Denmark is out. Denmark is out. Let me switch the audio. All right, I've got audio up. I'm at 97.30 for France, Tunisia. Dembele, Camavinga. 20 seconds left for France. And Griezmann! And it's 1-1! Right at the end! Heartbreaking for Tunisia, who had a chance to get a famous result, even if they weren't going through because of Australia. But that result is gone thanks to Antoine Griezmann. With a penguin celebration, because of course he's got something wild. Denmark in last place on 1 point. Tunisia with 2 draws and a loss on 2 points. Australia on 6 and France on 7. Absolutely unbelievable from Australia. I'm assuming that's essentially the last play of this entire match. I said it was the worst Australian team that had ever made the World Cup. I was wrong. Great effort from Tunisia. I mean, a draw against France is a fantastic result for Tunisia. They would have shaken your hand off for that at the beginning of the tournament. But it is, I mean, nothing was enough today. The loss against Australia sealed their fate before they knew it. Final whistle. All right. The matches are done. What is happening with the refs in this game? I thought it was over. Oh, they're reviewing the goal. What? Oh, wow. They could just literally hand Tunisia a famous win. They could just hand Tunisia a famous win. I mean, there might be. I guess you're looking at a push. I mean, to me, I'll be honest, it looks like a push. It looks like a push. And it's a push! It's a push, and Tunisia's gonna beat France. Oh, wow. Tunisia is gonna beat France. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I guess they're saying offside. So they're saying he was offside when that ball was played, which he was. And I think the guy got pushed. No, it doesn't affect anything, but it is a famous win for Tunisia. It's a famous win for Tunisia. And honestly, you say you don't advance to the knockouts, but you beat France. I like... Wow. Dude. I'm confused what just happened. They ruled Griezmann offside. And Tunisia's beaten France and finished third in the group with 4 points. They will not be advancing to the knockouts. Australia is, after a ridiculous upset of Denmark 1-0. Tunisia beats France and doesn't advance. And Australia has won and is headed to the World Cup knockouts. Dude, Wahbi Khazri with the goal to win it for Tunisia. But Australia has stolen the day with a win over Denmark. Its first multi-win World Cup appearance ever. And they're headed to the knockouts with an astonishing 6 points after their obliteration at the hands of France in the opening match day. What a fabulous morning set of matches. Shout out to the Aussies as Denmark and Tunisia are eliminated. Australia joins France in the knockouts. And we have a big afternoon session coming up as well that involves Lionel Messi and Poland and Mexico and the original Cinderella of this tournament, Saudi Arabia, who could as well surprise and make it to the knockouts. All 4 of those teams could make it to the knockouts. And unlike this group, all 4 of those teams could not make the knockouts. So we're going to have a great afternoon window. But we are going to take a break here and be on about 25 minutes before those matches kick off. And I hope we'll be able to see you here for that watch along, because that is going to be even crazier on paper than this was supposed to be. And this was already insane. Australia advances with 6 points into the round of 16 and will play the first place team from the other group. I will see you guys in a little over an hour for our afternoon window. It's Argentina and Poland. It's Mexico and Saudi Arabia, and all 4 teams are yet to clinch or be eliminated. It's gonna be crazy. I love this. And I'll see you guys then. Australia! Dance in the streets. It's only 4 a.m. there. The party's just getting started.